Hi, I'm Megan. I've been a customer experience designer for over 5 years now and have created a bunch of different resources for you that should be able to help you with all of your customer and employee experience endeavors. Customer experience has a bunch of different names. So you might have heard of customer experience design, human-centered design, taking a human-centered approach, design thinking, the list goes on. In this video, I will be running through how to set up and facilitate a prioritization workshop. I'll also be walking you through step by step of what I would do and then running you through a working example. I also have a more detailed downloadable pack that you can purchase on Etsy. In that, it will also provide you with some blank prioritization workshop templates. I hope you get some value out of this video. Please do comment below if you have any questions. I've left the link to my YouTube channel and to my Etsy shop down below in the description box. And yeah, let's get into it. So what is a prioritization session and when would you run one? So after pain points have been found, usually through customer journey mapping, verbatim that's come in, or data and insights, it can be pretty overwhelming in having a look at how you should actually start to address and solve for each of them. A prioritization takes all of those pain points and ultimately works through to figure out what you should solve for first and gives all of the pain points an order of priority. Once the pain points are prioritized, you can then assign them to owners and give each one actions so that you've got a place to start and that you hit the ground running. When it comes to the examples later in this video, I have created a voting session example and also a matrix session example. You can just pick one and decide which one works for you and for what you're trying to do. All right, so step one. Firstly, you want to prepare for the session. So you want to take all of your pain points and put them either into the voting template or into the matrix template. So in the pack that I've created on Etsy, I've got both of these as a blank template, which if you would like to speed up the process for yourself, you can go and get. Otherwise, follow along in the working examples. You then want to invite the relevant stakeholders to a 1 to 1.5 hour session. Step 2, running the workshops. So if you've chosen to use the voting session, you want to give your attendees time so that they can vote on each of the pain points in each of your sections. You then want to assign owners and actions where possible. If you've chosen the matrix example, you want to run through each of the pain points as a group in the session. Once prioritized, you want to look at brainstorming how to solve for these. So again, assigning actions and owners. And step 3, you want to hand over the pain points. So after the workshop, you want to send out all of your chosen pain points with the actions and owners assigned as well. They should then start working through the solutions and hopefully get some momentum going. So here is an example of a pain point prioritization voting session. So at the top, we've got our agenda. So number 1, we want to vote on our pain points. And number 2, we want to assign actions and owners where possible. We've got our scenario. So we already would have run through this in our workshop. In our first line up the top, we have pain points. So I've got each of the pain points in each of the relevant stages. You then want to give maybe 5 to 10 minutes for each square so that your attendees can vote and decide what they think is the most important. In the second half of your workshop, you'll then have your chosen pain points. So you want to work through each of the pain point sections at the top, allot time so people can vote on them, and then after you voted on all 4, you want to jump down to the second half where you have your chosen pain points and you want to assign actions and owners where possible. So here I've zoomed in to just the pain points section. You can see the little ones where people have voted. I voted. And here we have the second half, so your chosen pain points, and also where you've assigned your owners and actions. So here is my pain point prioritization matrix example. So in the matrix example, I've got all of the pain points in a chunk on the left. So they're not in their stages, although they are color-coded, they don't need to be. And then I have a matrix. So on the vertical axes, I have impact. So the further up the line you go, the more impact it will have. And then I have my horizontal axes. So that's possibility. How possible is it that we can actually do something about this, that we can actually change this? So in the bottom left quadrant, we've got low priority, so low impact and low possibility. In the bottom right, we've got low hanging fruit, so low impact, but highly possible. In the top left, we've got practically impractical. It's a high impact, but it's really not very possible. And in the top left, we've got our best chance at success. So it's high impact and it's highly possible that we can actually do something. We can actually make a change. Next, we're taking our chosen pain points and assigning owners and actions to them. So the way we're deciding our order is we're looking at that matrix and anything that sits in the top right quadrant, so anything where it's highly possible and going to be a high impact is what we want to work on first. So we take each of those in that quadrant and then we are looking at assigning actions and owners to each. When you've got some remaining pain points, you can create a backlog. So you should work through it in the order of what is going to make the biggest impact and what is the most possible first. Then have a look at your other quadrants and see where you want to focus next. That is how you would create your backlog.